Welcome back to Sip the Tally Films. I'm your host, Coach Evans, and today on our countdown, we're looking at team number 24. Yesterday, team number 25 was the Cincinnati Bengals. The roundup, the recap of their position groups are quarterback number 2, running back 12, wide receiver 8, and remember, that's not just T and Jamar. That's T, Jamar, Yosevich, and others. But if it was just T and Jamar, it'd probably be 1. But tight end 22, O-line 30, D-line edge group 24, linebackers 17, cornerbacks 28, and safety 31. Today's team is one of the teams that I wish no really good luck on. I hate that one of my favorite players are on that team, even though he's not like a good player, but he's still one of my favorite NFL personalities. But the way they handled business and supposedly leaked information, and the way they went about what they did to a certain star a year ago that kind of showed up basically a spit in their face, everything that they got bad coming for them, I'm with it. But they may have just drafted a budding star. And team number 24 is the New York Football Giants. Let's see who they picked up in the NFL draft before we get to their offensive and defensive rankings. All right, the draft class for 2025 for the New York Football Giants. Abdul Carter, defensive end from Penn State. A lot of people say he was probably the best player in this draft, arguably the best player in this draft, but he goes into a good defensive line room with the New York Giants. They also had a second first-round pick, and they picked Jackson Dart, quarterback out of Ole Miss, a guy who was never slated to be a first-round pick up until late in the process. Darius Alexander, a pretty good defensive tackle from Toledo, just adds to that defensive line group. Cam Scatterboo, a tough, gritty running back from Arizona State, who had a great playoff run. Marcus M'Bow from Purdue was a really good offensive lineman that potentially could slide into that right tackle spot, and you'll see who's playing right tackle for him here in a minute. Tight end Thomas Fedone from Nebraska is pretty good, and then Corey Black, cornerback from Oklahoma State, they got in the 7th round. Let's take a look at what they have offensively as a whole and see where I have them ranked as well.
Who is this?
All right, their starter at quarterback is probably going to be Russell Wilson, backed up by Jameis Winston, and that's the personality that I said I really like. Even though he's not very good, I really like Jameis as just an NFL, just a celebrity, so to speak. Jameis is funny. And then Jackson Dart is behind those guys with Tommy DeVito as the 4th-string quarterback. Running back room, Tyrone Tracy, converted wide receiver. That's a running back. They got Devin Singletary, and you add Cam Scatterboo to that room as well. Wide receivers, Malik Neighbors. He's a dude. He's quickly become one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. Quickly. Wandale Robinson and Darius Slayton. Darius Slayton has been there for a minute. Just consistent, but not great. Jalen Hyatt in that room. I think we can put the B word on Jalen Hyatt. They fooled me with Jalen Hyatt. LaJordan Humphreys and Zach Pascal in that room as well. Going to the tight end, you got Theo Johnson, Daniel Bellinger, and Chris Manhurst. And they got Greg DeLuch. I like Bellinger. Theo Johnson is okay, but the combination of Theo Johnson and Bellinger is pretty good at the tight end spot for them, and they can have really good years this year. If Neighbors is doubled or whatever, and Slayton and Robinson can't get over, the tight ends can be a good check down for Russell and Jameis, or if Jackson Dart find his way into the room as well. And their O-line, Thomas Runyon, Wiley vet, Michael Smith Jr., Evan Neal, who moving him to guard, they're trying to give him a chance to unlock his potential, but his potential hadn't been unlocked thus far. Then they got Jermaine Illuminor playing right tackle, and that's the spot I think M'Bow can potentially get at that right tackle spot. But let's see what I have them ranked. This group, I have this group ranked. Quarterback 27, running back 28, wide receiver 24, tight end 17, offensive line 26. Let me know in the comment section if this is too high or too low for the New York Giants offense. Let's go off to the defensive side. Looking at that defensive side. Now, they're a base 4-3 team, but I have nickel up here. And let's just take a look. And you won't see the name, some of the names I call, but you get the gist of it because I put nickel up here to try to make everybody look universal. Nose tackle, Sexy Dexter Lawrence. And you on the side of him, you have Akeem Nunez Roches, Roy Robinson Jr., and then your outside linebackers who I consider defensive line edge as well as Brian Barnes and Abdul Carter or Kayvon Thibodeau. I think it's going to be Kayvon Thibodeau to start with Carter rotating in, but still, those three guys are pretty good when you put them together. Carter being a rookie, Thibodeau hadn't really came into his own yet, but it's a solid player. And then we all know what Brian Burns has done in his career at Carolina and coming to New York, even though he's kind of fell off a little bit in New York. But Dexter Lawrence, have no clue, is the leader of that front group. Going to that linebacker group, you look at Bobby Okereke and Michael McFadden. Okereke is one of the better linebackers in the league right now. McFadden is improving, so that's a pretty formidable linebacker group as well. When you go down to corners, you look at Paulson Adebo, who was in New Orleans for a long time. You got Deontay Banks, and you got Drew Phillips. Drew Phillips is one of the better nickel slot corners in the league. And so he's a big up, and he's the leader of that cornerback room as well. But he can go outside when they're in base formation as well. So and then you look at the safety. The picking up of Javon Hollard really is going to help the safety room. And then Tyler Newbern in his second year as a New York Giant is pairing him with Holland. That's a good pairing on the back end. So defensively, they solid defensively. Best group is the D-line group. I'll tell you that. D-line edge group, I have them ranked 9, linebackers 13, cornerbacks 14, and safety 15. So that's not bad for the Giants defensively. But when you take all those numbers together, add them up, you get a total of 19.22222, which puts them at team number 24 in the Sip to Tally Power Rankings. And notice the difference from yesterday and today in the total. Yesterday, the Bengals were 19.33333. So this is a slight difference in teams. And I told you a lot of teams will be clustered from team 24 to team 4 because all of those teams are in the teens. So just know it's going to be a slight difference. One position group may tilt you up or tilt you down. So I appreciate you guys for coming out. Let me know if I have the Giants defense ranked too high or too low. Put that in the comment section. I'll see you guys tomorrow with team number 23. So like, comment, hit the notification button if you've not done so, and share. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.